Hey guys, this is Jared at Nintendo World Report. I'm making sure this thing's recording, and it is. Anyway, we're here at the Indie Mix. It's E3 2016. It's Wednesday night. It's crazy. We're here talking with a member of Drinkbox Studios. We're talking about a little game called Severed. What's your name, sir?
My name is Graham Smith.
Graham, please tell us about your game. What is this game? I know it's coming to Wii U, and it was on other systems before.
So Severed, we released it in April on the PlayStation Vita. And now it's coming to the Nintendo Wii U and the 3DS. It's a first-person dungeon crawler with touch-based sword fighting, or should I say stylus-based sword fighting now. There's a lot of different aspects to Severed, but one of the interesting things that I think we're doing is having like multiple enemies surrounding the player at one time, and you have to do this. There's a strategic element to the battles where there's kind of a time management thing where you have to strategically pick which enemies you want to fight first and try and take them out of the battle before you deal with other enemies. One of the kind of key gameplay hooks to the game is when you defeat an enemy, they kind of fly up into the air and you can cut off their limbs, and then you collect them, and that's like the currency that you use to upgrade yourself. And similarly with the bosses, when you cut up the bosses, they leave behind a carcass that you can equip on yourself as like a piece of armor, and you gain the ability that the boss had, and then you can now use that ability in your own combat. So a little bit Mega Man inspired boss fighting. We're hoping to release it on the Wii U and the 3DS by the end of the summer, and we want to do cross-buy, so if you buy one, you get the other one for free.
The level design, if you're just watching a video, you may not realize it, but you're moving from room to room. It's kind of when you're in a room, it seems like you're just sort of going around in a circle.
Yeah.
What was the trade-off in the development? Because obviously that was a conscious decision. What went into that decision in terms of the kind of level by level design?
Yeah. So definitely, it's very inspired by much like really old games, like old school dungeon crawler games where they did have like this node to node progression. And with like 90-degree turning kind of thing, we chose to make it a smoother turning. So very inspired by that. Also, we have our own engine and our own editor, and we built all of our previous games, and all of our previous games were 2D games. So when we were thinking about Severed and the different possible approaches to how we could bring it technically to how we could build it technically, we talked about possibly trying to start from scratch and doing a 3D engine. And then we kind of arrived at this kind of hybrid because the world is 3D, and when you're walking around, you can see there's parallax. There's like multiple layers of worlds. So it is 3D, but it is kind of like a quasi 3D because it's really just like cylinders wrapped around the player, and I think that's what you're referring to. Every time you're standing in a new node, you can spin around, and it's just like multiple cylinders, concentric cylinders that are wrapped around you for the different distances. And that method allowed us to use our existing technology to build the game, and that just allowed us to build it much more quickly. Yeah.
I'm just curious. I know you said you're planning on having cross-buy. I know Nintendo's done it with a few other developers before. Has it been easy working with Nintendo, and was it easy to implement cross-buy?
We still have not technically finished implementing it yet, I can't say for sure, but from what I understand, and from Nintendo's been very helpful explaining what the process will be like. I believe that all you have to do is if you're signed in on the same account on your other device, as long as you're signed in when you purchase Severed, any other devices that you're signed in with the same account, you'll be able to get Severed for free. So I know that there's another method where you can get a code for the other device, and that seemed a little bit more cumbersome way of doing it because then you have to manually enter a code or record it somehow. So yeah, this is I believe it's the easiest way for the end user. So that's the way we're trying to go with it. Yeah.
Very cool.
The visual style of the game doesn't evoke kind of the Guacamelee art style. I'm wondering, is this pulling from a similar mythos, or is it set in the same general world?
So it's not in the same world, but we do get that question a lot because the art style is very similar. It's very geometric, very colorful, and I think it's just our art team is very small, and they have like their kind of unique, distinctive style that they bring, and it's also kind of like the Drinkbox style. So I think that's what you're seeing there with that.
Cool. I think I'm really looking forward to the game. Anything else, Michael, you want to add?
No, just looking forward to the release, and hopefully you're able to wrap everything up and get that cross-buy working.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for your time.